Hey everyone! Whether you're thinking about moving to the Philippines or just planning your next big trip, there are a lot of incredible places to visit. But let's be real, not every spot in paradise is safe for expats. Today's video is all about places you should never visit in the Philippines if you want to stay out of danger. Stick around because this information could save you from a lot of trouble. Now don't get me wrong, the Philippines is a breathtaking country, full of welcoming people and unforgettable experiences. But there are certain regions where, if you're not careful, things can get pretty dangerous. Today, we're going to break down which areas expats should avoid and why. You don't want to find yourself in a bad situation. In this video, I'm going to share some real-life stories of expats who found themselves in tricky situations, and I'll highlight 5 key areas you should steer clear of, places where the risk of crime, terrorism, and kidnapping is just too high. Let's get into it. If you're an expat or a tourist planning to visit the Philippines, you've probably heard how friendly and warm Filipinos are. And while that's 100% true for the vast majority of the country, there are a few areas where the situation is quite different. These are regions that can turn your dream adventure into a nightmare if you're not careful. Here's your expat alert. These are the danger zones of the Philippines you should avoid at all costs. Let's dive into the details. Here are 5 dangerous areas in the Philippines that you, as an expat, should never visit. Crime, terrorism, and kidnapping are widespread in this region. The Abu Sayyaf group, known for kidnapping foreigners and demanding ransom, operates heavily here. In the past decade, several foreigners, including expats and tourists, have been kidnapped or even killed. True story. In 2016, a Canadian man was kidnapped by the Abu Sayyaf group in the Sulu Sea and was tragically killed when ransom demands were not met. 2. Marawi City, Mindanao. Marawi City was the site of a brutal conflict between the Philippine government and ISIS-affiliated groups in 2017. Even though the conflict has ended, terrorist activities continue to plague the region. True story. During the siege, dozens of foreigners were trapped in the city and some were taken hostage by terrorist groups. 3. Zamboanga Peninsula. This area is notorious for terrorist attacks and the presence of armed insurgent groups. It has been flagged by several governments as a no-go zone for tourists and expats due to the risk of violence and kidnapping. True story. Just recently, a US vlogger, Eliott Eastman, who had been living in Cebuco town for 5 months, went missing after repeatedly being warned to avoid the Zamboanga area. According to Philippine police, Eliott was advised to leave the area due to high risk but chose to stay. He hasn't been seen since. 4. Basilan Province. Located in the autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, Basilan is another hotspot for terrorist activities, particularly kidnappings and bombings. True story. Foreign aid workers and expats have been abducted from this area in the past, with ransom demands sometimes leading to tragic outcomes. 5. North Cotabato Province. Although less discussed than Sulu or Zamboanga, North Cotabato has experienced violent incidents due to armed rebel groups. Expats and tourists in this area face the danger of being caught in the crossfire between insurgents and military forces. Why to avoid? Terrorist group Abu Sayyaf operates here. Why to avoid? High risk of kidnapping for ransom. Stick to more secure areas such as Palawan or Cebu. Why to avoid post-conflict area with ongoing terrorist activities. Avoid traveling to any conflict zones in Mindanao. Travel advisories recommend avoiding the entire region, Zamboanga Peninsula. Why to avoid ongoing unrest, risk of violence and kidnapping. Advice: always check with local authorities or embassies before traveling to Mindanao. Basilan. Why to avoid frequent clashes between rebel groups and the military. Advice: prioritize well-known tourist destinations in Luzon or Visayas for your safety. Tawi-Tawi. Why to avoid? Bordering the Sulu Sea, Tawi-Tawi is known for pirate activities and kidnappings. Advice: skip this area, even if you're drawn to its natural beauty. So what's the takeaway here? If you're planning to move to or travel around the Philippines as an expat, it's absolutely crucial to know which areas to avoid. The places I've highlighted are beautiful in their own right, but the risks far outweigh the rewards. No beautiful view is worth putting yourself in danger. Thankfully, the Philippines is a large country, and there are plenty of safe, stunning places to explore. Stick to the recommended tourist areas, and always follow travel advisories to keep your trip both memorable and safe. To wrap things up, the Philippines is an amazing country with a rich culture and stunning landscapes. But like anywhere in the world, it's important to stay informed and avoid areas where your safety might be at risk. If you're planning on becoming an expat here, or even just visiting, make sure you've got your safety plan in place. And don't forget, if you're ever unsure about a destination, do your research, check travel advisories, and listen to the locals. Better safe than sorry, right? Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and share this with anyone planning a trip to the Philippines. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.